All right, Raiders fans, buckle up because we are diving deep into the whirlwind that is the Las Vegas Raiders this season. It has been a roller coaster of drama, rumors, and unexpected challenges, and there is no better time to break down everything happening behind the scenes and on the field. From the beginning of the season, expectations were sky high when Pete Carroll was brought in as the head coach, but the reality of the team's struggles is set in hard and fast. People thought bringing in a legendary coach like Carroll, who has proven himself on the biggest stages, would immediately turn the Raiders into contenders. Yet here we are, well into Week 12 of the National Football League season, and the team is struggling to find any rhythm. What makes it even more complicated is the looming question of whether Pete Carroll's tenure in Las Vegas could be a one-and-done situation, something that seemed impossible just months ago when the news of his hiring broke. Sources that were considered extremely reliable had reassured fans and insiders alike that Carroll was safe for the season, that he would have time to implement his system and prove his worth. But as the old saying goes, where there's smoke, there's fire, and right now, the smoke around Carroll's position is getting thick enough to make anyone take notice. Observers and insiders alike are noting that the Raiders are clearly in a rebuilding phase from a roster standpoint. At 74 years old, Carroll is not in Las Vegas to simply participate. He is there to win, and winning is not happening the way anyone envisioned. The contrast between the team's ambitions, the roster's current talent level, and Carroll's expectations has created a situation where misalignment is almost guaranteed. The front office is doing its part, the coaches are doing theirs, but somehow the chemistry that was hoped for when the legendary coach was hired is simply not materializing. Carroll's contract is for 3 years with an option for a fourth, which in theory should provide stability. But when results are lacking and internal frustrations start to surface, contracts mean very little. In this environment, even seasoned veterans like Carroll are not immune to the pressures that mount when a franchise fails to meet expectations. Every single day, fans are waking up and looking at the scoreboard, asking themselves how it came to this point. The 2-8 record is brutal for any team, let alone a team with aspirations to compete at the highest level. Each loss seems to compound the question, can Carroll navigate this mess, or is the end of his tenure near? The situation is further complicated by personnel choices that have raised eyebrows. Geno Smith's performance has not met expectations, and the loyalty that Carroll has shown to him, whether strategic or personal, is being questioned by fans and analysts alike. The quarterback position is the most crucial on any team, and if the leader at the helm is not delivering, the entire structure begins to wobble. The Raiders' offensive line, another pivotal unit, has struggled to provide consistency, making it difficult for both the running and passing games to flourish. Coaching dynamics, particularly with offensive coordinator Chip Kelly, have introduced additional layers of tension. Observers have noted that staff loyalty, especially when family members are involved in key roles, can create conflicts of interest that are tough to reconcile. Carroll's blind loyalty to certain staff members and players, while admirable in some respects, is potentially a liability when the results on the field do not match the intentions behind those decisions. In terms of team culture, there are indications of disconnect between the front office and the coaching staff. Internal communications, alignment on strategic priorities, and execution have all been called into question. Text messages from sources inside the organization hint at frustration and concern that Carroll's approach may not be in sync with the vision of executives tasked with building a sustainable winner. Fans have noticed the missteps, and their patience is wearing thin. The Raiders have gone through high-profile coaching changes in recent years, and while Mark Davis, the owner, has invested heavily in coaching talent, the returns on those investments have been inconsistent at best. Financially, the organization is in a strong position, but spending money on high-profile hires without the expected performance results has created skepticism among fans about whether the strategy is sound. The team's remaining schedule does not offer much comfort either. Facing tough opponents week after week, with a roster still developing under a coach trying to implement a system, there is limited room for error. Every game is a test, not only for the players, but for Carroll's ability to adapt and lead in real time. Each matchup carries implications for playoff hopes, but also for the perception of Carroll's tenure. Fans are left asking difficult questions. How many wins are enough to justify keeping a coach in place, and how much progress is required to believe in the direction of the franchise? The statistical trends and game performances have added to the narrative that Carroll could be a one-and-done hire. The combination of roster limitations, coaching challenges, and front office dynamics paints a picture of a team at a crossroads, where decisions made in the coming weeks could reshape the future of the franchise. Beyond the XS and OS, there's a human element at play. Players, coaches, and executives are all navigating immense pressure, public scrutiny, and personal investment in the team's success. Carroll, a coach with a storied career, is now facing a situation that tests not only his strategic acumen, but also his patience and adaptability. The stakes are high, and for fans who have invested emotionally in this season, the unfolding drama is as captivating as it is concerning. From the offensive line struggles to the quarterback controversy, to the tensions within the coaching staff and front office, every element contributes to the sense that the Raiders are a team in flux, a team searching for identity and direction. What makes this season particularly intriguing is the contrast between expectations and reality. When Carroll was hired, there was hope, optimism, and belief that the team could take a significant step forward. Now, those hopes are tempered by the sobering reality of a 2-8 record, internal misalignments, and growing fan dissatisfaction. The narratives around loyalty, internal conflict, and the challenges of leading a team in transition have become central to discussions among fans and analysts. Carroll's strategies, player decisions, and public statements are scrutinized as everyone tries to gauge whether this hire was a masterstroke or a miscalculation. The financial backdrop adds another layer to the story. The salaries of coaches, coordinators, and front office personnel are significant, and the question arises whether the investments are yielding proportional returns. Fans see the numbers, the losses, and the unfulfilled potential, and they start to wonder if a change at the top is inevitable. In all of this, the emotional connection of Raiders Nation remains strong. Despite frustration and disappointment, the passion for the team drives engagement, discussion, and debate about what needs to happen next. Every week, fans analyze plays, coach decisions, and roster moves, hoping to find a silver lining or a spark of hope that could turn the season around. The combination of historical context, current struggles, financial investment, and fan passion creates a layered, complex narrative around Pete Carroll and the Las Vegas Raiders this season. Observers continue to monitor how the coach manages adversity, whether he can adapt to the unique challenges of this roster, and what impact his leadership will have on the future trajectory of the franchise. The story is far from over, and each passing week brings new developments, new performances, and new opportunities for the team to prove its worth or face difficult decisions about its direction. As the season continues to unfold, Raiders fans are grappling with a sense of uncertainty that seems almost unprecedented. Week by week, the team faces challenges that range from on-field execution to behind-the-scenes management issues, and the tension surrounding Pete Carroll's position as head coach is at an all-time high. Every loss compounds the pressure, and every game that slips away without a clear path forward only strengthens the narrative that this could very well be a one-and-done scenario. The realities of coaching in the National Football League are unforgiving, and Carroll, despite his legendary status, is now encountering the stark truth that past success does not guarantee present results. The team's struggles are multifaceted. Geno Smith, whose performance has drawn heavy criticism from fans and analysts alike, continues to struggle under the weight of expectations and inconsistent support from the offensive line. Carroll's loyalty to Smith, while perhaps intended to stabilize the team, has instead become a flashpoint for frustration, raising questions about decision-making and judgment at the highest level. The offensive line itself has been a constant source of concern, failing to provide the protection and run blocking necessary to support both the quarterback and the running game. The lack of cohesion in this unit has led to inconsistent performances, and the team's inability to execute fundamental plays has been glaring in nearly every matchup. On top of that, the coaching staff dynamic has added layers of complexity that few teams face. Chip Kelly, as offensive coordinator, has been a point of contention, and the presence of Carroll's son on the coaching staff adds another variable that fans and insiders are watching closely. Loyalty, family ties, and internal politics are creating a web of relationships that makes it difficult for decisions to be made purely on performance merit. The front office, led by Mark Davis and John Spytek, is tasked with overseeing a franchise that has invested heavily in its coaching staff and roster, yet the results on the field have not reflected those investments. Sources indicate that there is a level of frustration within the front office about how the team is being run, and the disconnect between the vision of executives and the actions of the coaching staff is creating tension that is difficult to ignore. Every strategic decision, every play call, and every personnel choice is under scrutiny, and the alignment necessary for success seems increasingly elusive. When examining the Raiders' schedule for the remainder of the season, the challenges become even clearer. With matchups against some of the league's strongest teams, each game is a test not only of talent, but of leadership and adaptability. The opportunity to gain wins is limited, and the margin for error is slim. Carroll's ability to motivate, adjust strategies, and inspire confidence in a roster that is still finding its identity is being tested in real time, and the stakes could not be higher. Fans, meanwhile, are growing increasingly vocal about their dissatisfaction. Polls, social media chatter, and commentary from the fan base indicate that support for Carroll and certain key players is waning. The loyalty that once inspired hope now seems to be a source of division. A substantial salary has been substantial, yet the return on investment in terms of wins and team performance has been minimal. While Mark Davis may be in a strong financial position and capable of absorbing these costs, the optics of high spending paired with disappointing results are not lost on fans or analysts. Beyond the numbers, the human element continues to play a critical role. Players are navigating not only the tactical challenges of the game, but also the psychological pressures of underperformance, media scrutiny, and fan expectations. Carroll, despite decades of experience, is operating in a high-stakes environment where patience is thin and every decision carries weight. The intersection of leadership, accountability, and performance has created a narrative that is compelling, tense, and deeply scrutinized by all who follow the Raiders. Each week, as the team takes the field, the questions surrounding leadership and strategy grow more pronounced. How will Carroll manage the quarterback situation? Will the offensive line find cohesion? Can the coaching staff overcome internal tensions to provide a unified approach? These are the questions that fans, analysts, and insiders are all asking, and the answers remain uncertain. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Las Vegas Raiders. And don't be shy. Drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. The NFL world is buzzing with whispers that could shake the league to its core. KYLER Murray, the dynamic quarterback who electrified Arizona, is reportedly packing his bags for Las Vegas. Sources close to the situation suggest that the Raiders' front office has been quietly working behind the scenes to lure the dual-threat sensation to Sin City, and insiders claim Murray has shown serious interest in the challenge. If this move comes to fruition, it wouldn't just be a change of scenery. It could signal a seismic shift in the Raiders' offensive identity. Murray's skill set is widely regarded as one of the most versatile in the league. Known for his lightning-quick release, mobility, and uncanny ability to extend plays, he could completely reshape the Raiders' playbook, bringing a level of unpredictability that opponents may struggle to contain. Rumors suggest that the coaching staff is already envisioning schemes tailored around Murray's strengths, mixing explosive downfield shots with innovative quarterback runs that keep defenses perpetually off balance. For Las Vegas fans, the mere prospect of seeing Murray in silver and black is enough to ignite imaginations about highlight reel plays and instant impact drives. While no official announcement has been made, chatter in locker rooms and on sports networks points to a growing confidence that the deal could be finalized. Some analysts speculate that the Raiders see Murray not only as a quarterback, but as a transformative figure who could energize the franchise and redefine its identity. Meanwhile, whispers in Arizona hint at a mix of shock and resignation. Murray's departure would leave a massive void in a team built around his unique talents, forcing them to rethink their quarterback strategy and potentially triggering a ripple effect across the league. Of course, with every high-profile NFL rumor, caution is advised. Contract negotiations, cap considerations, and medical evaluations could all play a role in whether this headline-grabbing move actually materializes. Yet, in the age of big trades and bold moves, the idea of KYLER Murray donning the Raiders' uniform has fans and pundits alike speculating wildly about what could be one of the most audacious quarterback switches in recent memory. The NFL offseason has rarely felt this electric, and if these whispers prove true, Las Vegas may be about to witness a football revolution led by one of the league's most thrilling talents. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Las Vegas Raiders, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.